Olivia Hart was wiping down the 15th floor hallway when she saw something that made her freeze. The new janitor, the quiet older man who shared lunch with her every day, stepped out of a black luxury car, wearing a tailored suit worth more than her monthly rent. Behind him trailed two assistants, and the hotel manager nearly tripped over himself bowing. In that instant, Olivia realized the man she had trusted, defended, and confided in was not who he claimed to be, and what he was about to reveal would turn the entire hotel upside down. Keep watching, because the truth will hit harder than any betrayal she has ever faced. You don't need to come back tomorrow. The sentence hit Olivia Hart so hard she almost didn't hear the rest. The HR office smelled like printer ink and old coffee, but all she could smell was disinfectant from the bathroom she'd just scrubbed. Her fingers were raw, her uniform still damp at the cuffs. Linda Park, head of human resources at the Harborview Grand Hotel in Seattle, spoke in a calm, almost bored tone as if she were talking about a broken chair, not a human being. But that moment belongs to later. 2 weeks earlier, Olivia still believed that hard work and kindness were enough to keep a roof over her family's head. Every morning before dawn, she slipped out of the small apartment she shared with her parents, careful not to wake them. Her father's dialysis machine hummed softly in the bedroom. Her mother's arthritis medication bottles lined the kitchen counter like a row of fragile soldiers. Olivia checked them without thinking, like a ritual. One more week, maybe 10 days if she stretched it. By 6 a.m., she was at the Harborview Grand, the glass and steel tower catching the gray Seattle light and reflecting it back like the world's most expensive mirror. Guests looked up at the chandeliers. Olivia looked down at the stains in the carpet, 15th floor. Her floor. She loaded fresh towels onto her cart, pushed it out into the hallway, and started her routine. Dust, vacuum, wipe, straighten. Smile when you see guests. Step out of the way before they feel like they're walking around you. Make yourself useful and invisible at the same time. That morning, the elevator doors dinged open behind her. She glanced up, expecting another guest in a suit or a tourist with too many bags. Instead, an older man stepped out, moving slowly but steadily, pushing a battered cleaning cart of his own. His coveralls were faded and a size too big, the Harborview logo almost washed away. His silver hair was combed back, but there was a tiredness in his shoulders that spoke of years of heavy lifting. He looked like someone the world had decided it was done noticing. Olivia didn't hesitate. "Good morning," she called, offering him a real smile, not the polite one she used for guests. "First day?" The man seemed surprised she was talking to him at all. Then he nodded, straightening a little. "Good morning," he replied. His voice was low, steady, like someone used to being heard when he actually chose to speak. "Yes, first day, name's Henry Lawson." "Olivia Hart," she said, stepping closer and extending a gloved hand anyway. "Housekeeping, 15th floor. You look like they threw you right into it." He glanced at the crumpled sheet of paper in his hand. "I'm supposed to handle 14th, he said, just below you. They told me where to go, but not much else." Olivia laughed softly. "Yeah, that sounds like us," she said. "Come on, I'll show you where they keep the cleaning supplies. Otherwise, you'll spend your whole shift opening the wrong closets." She led him down the hallway, talking as they walked. Where the mops were, which vacuums were half broken and not worth your time, which supervisor pretended not to see you if you were behind schedule, but would throw a fit if a guest complained. Henry listened carefully, nodding, taking it all in. But what struck him wasn't the procedures. It was the way she talked to him like he mattered. No condescension, no awkwardness around his age. Just simple, practical kindness. "Thank you," he said when she finished. "You probably just saved my first day." "No problem," Olivia replied. "Everyone deserves a real chance at their first day. My first week here was a disaster. I almost cried in the service elevator." Henry smiled faintly. He had worked in hotels for over 40 years, owned them for more than 20. He had sat in boardrooms in tailored suits while executives threw around words like synergy and margin, but no one had ever bothered to tell him which vacuum to avoid. The rest of the morning, he watched her whenever their paths crossed. She never rushed past guests with her eyes on the floor. She met their looks, gave a quick "Good morning, sir," or "Hope you're enjoying your stay," and angled her cart so they didn't have to squeeze by. When a couple with luggage looked lost, she pointed them to the elevators and repeated the directions until they relaxed. It was small stuff, details, the kind of things that never showed up on performance reports, but to Henry, it was everything. At lunchtime, Olivia peeked into the staff break room, balancing her plastic meal prep container. Henry sat alone at a corner table, staring at his untouched sandwich as if he'd forgotten what to do with them. "Mr. Henry," she called gently. You eating alone? He looked up, startled. Seems that way, he said. Well, that's no good. She walked over and sat across from him without waiting for permission. Food tastes worse when nobody's complaining about it with you. Come on, split this with me. It's too much anyway. He hesitated, then nodded, the corners of his mouth softening. They ate, and Olivia talked. Not the kind of empty chatter people fill silence with, but real things. How long she'd been here. How the temp contract never switched to permanent, but she kept hoping. How her dad's kidneys had failed faster than anyone expected. How Medicaid didn't cover everything. How sometimes she counted tips left in rooms and quietly slid a bill back into the nightstand if it looked like someone accidentally dropped too much. Do you have family, Mr. Henry? She asked at one point. Kids? Grandkids? Yes, he said after a pause. They're busy. We don't see each other much. It was the kind of answer people gave when they didn't want to talk about it, but there was a hollow sound under his words that tugged at her. Well, Olivia said, taking a sip of cheap coffee, then you're stuck with me for lunch from now on. I don't like eating alone either. Henry looked at her, really looked at her. It had been a long time since anyone insisted on his company for no reason at all. Deal, he said quietly. From the doorway, someone watched them. Brooke Simmons, front desk agent, full-time, benefits, and very aware of it, leaned against the vending machine with a paper cup in hand and a pinched expression. Her hair was perfect, her blazer pressed, her smile for guests practiced and flawless. Her smile for coworkers like Olivia was much less generous. Look at that, she muttered to Megan Torres, another receptionist who had just walked in. Housekeeping girl and the new old janitor having themselves a little lunch date right in the middle of the day. Megan shrugged, but her eyes lingered. Maybe they're just being friendly, she said. Friendly is one thing, Brooke replied, but chatting that long on company time with a janitor? And did you see her earlier, directing that foreign couple like she owns the floor? That's literally our job. Jealousy had a way of twisting things out of shape. Every kindness became a threat. Every extra effort looked like showing off. Over the next week, Olivia and Henry's lunches became routine. They sat in the same corner, sharing leftovers and stories. Olivia admitted she sometimes wished guests would look her in the eye instead of through her. Henry admitted, without details, that he'd seen a lot of hotels lose their soul-chasing 5-star ratings. People think hospitality is about marble and chandeliers, he said one afternoon. But it's really about whether the person changing the sheets gives a damn about the human being who slept in them. Olivia smiled. I'm going to steal that line for the day I own my own place, she joked. Hart's Motel, free coffee, and way too much unsolicited life advice from the owner. You'd be good at it, Henry said simply, and he meant it, but not everyone saw what he saw. Brooke watched Olivia greeting guests in the hallway and felt something ugly crawl under her skin. Every time the cleaner's polite good morning earned a grateful smile, she felt her own professionalism somehow threatened. Megan started agreeing more quickly, if only because everything Olivia did made their own half-hearted small talk look even thinner. One afternoon, they pushed their way into the break room and found Olivia and Henry mid-conversation. So the guy on 14 didn't speak a word of English, Olivia was saying, laughing softly, and my Spanish is terrible. I ended up pointing at the room number on his key card and making these ridiculous hand gestures. I'm pretty sure the security camera caught it. I looked insane, but he found his room. That's what mattered. Henry chuckled. You did what you had to, he said. That's more than a lot of people would do. Brooke dropped her coffee lid a little louder than necessary. So, she said, stepping closer, now housekeeping is handling guest relations too? Olivia blinked, caught off guard. I just helped him find his room, she said. He looked really lost. Reception was busy and that's not the point, Brooke cut in, her tone honeyed but sharp. We have roles for a reason. If everyone starts doing everything, it gets confusing for guests. And talking this long in the break room every day, people notice. It doesn't look very professional. Olivia felt her cheeks heat. I finished my work on time, she said quietly. I don't leave rooms undone. Henry stood up slowly. If anyone has been keeping me here too long, it's me, he said. I'm the one who talks too much. Brooke's eyes flicked over him like he was nothing more than a mop with shoes. I'm just saying, she replied, turning back to the coffee machine. Some people should remember their place and their job description. For the first time since she'd started at Harborview, Olivia left the break room feeling like maybe being kind had been a mistake. Over the next few days, she laughed a little less in the hallways. She kept her greetings to guests shorter, more cautious. She still had lunch with Henry, But she checked the clock more often, worried someone was counting the minutes she spent sitting instead of scrubbing. Henry noticed every change and hated all of it. He had come here to see the truth of his hotel. Now he was watching that truth be punished. On Monday morning, Brooke leaned over the reception desk, her voice low and excited. "Megan," she whispered, "we can't just ignore this. She oversteps all the time, talks to guests like she's front desk, hogs the break room. Someone needs to say something before it gets worse." Megan hesitated, then nodded, more out of fear than conviction. "Maybe HR should know," she said, "just so they're aware." By Tuesday afternoon, Linda Park had a summary of concerns on her desk. The words inappropriate, unprofessional, and boundary issues appeared more than once, each one carefully not a lie, but far from the truth. That same just as Olivia finished restocking linens on 15, a voice came over the staff radio. "Olivia Hart, please report to Human Resources." She wiped her hands on her apron, heart beginning to pound for reasons she couldn't name. Henry watched her walk toward the elevator, unease coiling in his chest. He had a very bad feeling. If you were in Olivia's place, would you still choose to be openly kind to someone like Henry, even knowing your coworkers might judge you for it? Yes or no? Olivia stood in the hallway outside Human Resources, her palms damp, her heartbeat loud enough that she swore someone passing by could hear it. The morning had been normal. Floors cleaned, towels restocked, guests greeted. Nothing felt wrong until that call came over the staff radio, sharp and cold. Now the corridor felt too quiet, too empty, like the building itself was holding its breath. Inside the office, Linda Park didn't offer a seat. She didn't offer a smile. She didn't even offer eye contact. Instead, she slid a stack of papers across the desk as if pushing away something she didn't want to touch. "Effective immediately, the hotel is terminating your contract," Linda said. Her voice was flat, but there was a tiny flare of something, impatience, annoyance, that made Olivia's stomach knot. "Multiple concerns have been raised about your conduct. We have decided not to renew your position." For a moment, Olivia thought she had misheard. She stared at the papers, her name printed neatly at the top, as if this were a routine form instead of a sentence that would collapse her entire world. "What concerns?" Olivia whispered. Her throat felt tight. "I haven't done anything wrong. I finish my rooms early. Guests give me compliments. I've never received a warning." Linda flipped a page. "Excessive personal conversations during work hours. Overstepping your duties. Interfering with front desk responsibilities. Unprofessional behavior toward a foreign guest." Olivia blinked, tears threatening. "That's not true. The only thing I did was help a tourist find his room. Reception was busy. He was confused. I just wanted to help." "The complaints have been documented," Linda said, cutting her off. "It's out of my hands." Olivia reached for the edge of the desk, steadying herself. "Please," she said, her voice trembling, "please give me another chance. My parents, I can't lose this job. I haven't done anything wrong." Linda exhaled slowly as if exhausted by the conversation. "I'm sorry, Olivia, but the decision is final. You need to clear out your locker before the end of the day." Olivia felt the floor shift under her. Her ears rang. Her throat burned with words she couldn't form. It wasn't just the wow, it was everything that depended on it. Dialysis, medication, rent, food, hope. She tried again. "Can you at least tell me who said these things? I deserve to know." "No," Linda interrupted sharply. "All reports are confidential." Confidential? Olivia heard Brooke's voice echo in her memory. Some people should remember their place. She stumbled out of the office, gripping her elbow as she walked, trying not to cry, trying not to fall apart in front of people who already thought she didn't belong here. She made it to the supply room before the first sob broke free. She covered her mouth with her hands, her body shaking. Her locker door blurred through her tears as she opened it, removing her extra uniform, her old sneakers, the sticky note of reminders she'd taped inside on her first day. Everything she touched felt like a betrayal, like the building she had cared for so faithfully was spitting her out. Footsteps approached quietly. "Olivia?" Henry's voice was gentle, almost afraid. She turned, but she couldn't wipe the tears fast enough. "They fired me, Mr. Henry," she choked out, "because of some complaint. They said I talked too much, that I acted like I wasn't a cleaner, that I treated a guest badly. I really didn't." Henry stepped forward, slowly, his expression shifting in a way Olivia had never seen before. The softness disappeared. Something cold, focused, almost dangerous took its place. "And you're telling me they didn't bother to ask the guest?" he asked, his voice suddenly deeper. "No," she cried. They didn't ask anyone. They just believed the report. They won't tell me who wrote it. Henry closed his eyes for a moment, as if fighting down a surge of anger. Then Olivia pulled something from her pocket, her hands trembling. A folded note. I wanted to give you this, she said. Talking to you every day made me feel less alone. I'm sorry it has to end like this. He took the note with hands that weren't steady anymore. Olivia, he said, but she was already turning away, shamed to be crying in front of him. She walked through the employee exit with her head down. She didn't look back. She couldn't. If she did, she was scared she'd break completely. That night, she told her parents she'd be fine, but her voice cracked too many times for the lie to land. She sat at her old laptop trying to update her resume, but her hands shook so badly she misspelled her own name twice. She kept replaying everything she did, trying to find some moment where she had crossed a line. But there wasn't one. There never had been. Meanwhile, across the city, Henry Lawson sat alone in a quiet study overlooking the waterfront. The old janitor uniform hung across the back of a chair. His hands rested on the polished wood desk, fingers tapping once, twice, before curling into fists. For 3 years, he had walked the hallways unseen, learning the truth about his own hotel. Not through reports or executive summaries, through the way people treated those they thought were nobody. Tonight, that truth cut deeper than ever. Olivia's kindness wasn't weakness. It was integrity. It was the beating heart of hospitality, and it had been punished. Not tomorrow, he thought. Not again. He stood, the decision already forming with perfect clarity. The next morning dawned gray and cool. Mist rolled off the Puget Sound, drifting between the tall buildings like a warning. 2 black luxury sedans pulled up to the Harbor View Grand's main entrance just as employees were arriving for their shifts. The doors opened, and a ripple of whispers went through the lobby. A man stepped out. Not the old janitor with faded coveralls. A man in a charcoal suit that fit like it was stitched onto him. A man with polished shoes, silver hair, neat and commanding, eyes sharp with purpose. Henry Lawson walked among them, not as someone forgotten, but as someone whose presence filled the entire lobby. Behind the front desk, Brooke Simmons froze mid-sentence. Megan Torres gasped softly. "That's him," Brooke whispered, her voice cracking. "That's the janitor." "No," Megan breathed. "That's the owner, the hotel owner." And as Henry crossed the marble floors toward the general manager who had rushed out, pale and trembling, it became clear this was not just a visit. This was a reckoning. When someone in power finally stands up for the one person everyone else dismissed, do you believe justice can truly change a place? Yes or no? The conference room sat high above Elliott Bay, its glass walls catching the morning light and throwing it across the polished table like a spotlight on the truth. The general manager, Linda Park, Brooke Simmons, Megan Torres, and several department heads stood in uneasy silence. They had seen the old janitor walk the halls with a cleaning cart. Now that same man stood before them as Henry Lawson, owner and chairman of Harbor View Hospitality Group. Henry didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. The weight of his calm was heavier than anger could ever be. 3 years ago, he began, I bought this hotel with the hope of building something human. Not perfect, not glamorous, human. A place where guests feel safe and employees feel valued. A place where kindness isn't a liability. No one spoke. Even the air felt still. To understand whether that ideal was possible, Henry continued, I skipped the boardroom. I skipped the suits. I put on coveralls and learned who we truly are at the ground level. I have watched all of you, day in and day out. I have seen who works with integrity, and I have seen who does not. Brooke's palms grew sweaty. Megan's throat tightened. Henry placed a folder on the table and opened it with deliberate quiet. In those 3 years, one employee stood out above all others. She was not the highest paid. She was not permanent staff. She was a cleaner who showed more heart, dignity, and courage than many sitting in this room. He looked directly at Linda Park. And yet she was fired based on false complaints, not verified with guests, not supported by evidence, only magnified by personal bias. Linda lowered her head. Brooke felt as though her lungs had stopped working. Henry went on, his tone sharpening. Olivia Hart did exactly what hospitality demands. She helped someone who needed help. She greeted guests with respect. She treated a new employee, who you all assumed was beneath you, with kindness, and this hotel punished her for it. A murmur of shame rippled through the room. Effective immediately, Henry said. Her termination is overturned. The general manager nodded quickly, relief sweeping across his features. Furthermore, Henry continued, she will be rehired as a full-time employee with increased pay and benefits. She will also become the lead instructor for a new customer service training division for Harbor View Hospitality Group. Her values are the ones this hotel should have embodied all along. Brooke closed her eyes, her chest tight with regret. Megan's face drained of color. And regarding the complaints filed, Henry added, his voice turning colder, a full internal review will determine how such a serious matter was handled without proper investigation. There will be consequences. No one dared breathe. Now, he said, closing the folder, I need an address. I'll be visiting her myself. 4 days later, a quiet knock echoed through the worn apartment here in the hallway where Olivia lived. She opened the door to a courier holding an elegant envelope and a respectful expression. Special delivery for Miss Hart, he said, from Harborview Hospitality Group. Her heart stuttered. Hands trembling, she opened the envelope. What she found inside didn't seem real. A handwritten letter, inked in neat strokes. Dear Olivia, I must apologize for hiding who I am. My name is Henry Lawson. I am the chairman of the company that owns the Harborview Grand Hotel. The time we shared, the lunches, the conversations, and your kindness meant more to me than you know. You taught me more about hospitality than any conference or corporate meeting ever could. Your dismissal was unjust. It has been reversed. I would like to offer you not only your job back, but a new position where your heart and your values can shape the future of our entire team. If you are willing, I hope you will join us again. With gratitude, Henry. By the time she reached the end of the letter, tears blurred the page. Her mother rushed in, alarmed, then softened when she read the letter over Olivia's shoulder. See, her mother whispered, brushing her hair back gently. Sometimes life waits until the last moment to show you it's listening. The next morning, Olivia called the number at the bottom of the letter. Her voice shook, but her words were steady. I would like to accept the offer. Monday at 9, she stepped through the main entrance of the Harborview Grand. No side door, no service elevator. The marble lobby she once polished now welcomed her front and center. Her new ID badge read Customer Service Trainer. Her hands shook slightly as she clipped it to her blouse. Employees turned to look. Some smiled with genuine warmth, some looked ashamed. Others simply stared, shocked that someone they had dismissed had risen higher than any of them expected. Brooke and Megan stood behind the desk, their posture stiff. When Olivia passed them, she offered a calm, sincere greeting. Good morning. Both women lowered their heads. Morning, they murmured, unable to meet her eyes. The general manager approached her with an outstretched hand. Olivia, he said, we're grateful you returned. Truly. If you need anything, support, resources, a team, tell me. You've earned this. Thank you, she answered gently. I'll do my best to help make things better. Her first training session was a quiet triumph. Standing before a group of employees from every department, she taught not from a manual, but from experience. How noticing someone's discomfort matters. How small gestures soften even the hardest day. How a cleaner smile can mean more than a manager's scripted greeting. The room listened in a way they had never listened before. Weeks turned to months, and slowly, the Harborview Grand began to change. Not from new policies, not from new furniture, but from the ripple effect of one cleaner who never stopped caring. Staff began helping one another, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. Guests wrote reviews praising warmth, not luxury. Even Brooke and Megan, humbled by consequence and reflection, learned to approach their roles with a new humility. One evening, as the sun set beyond the bay, painting the lobby in amber light, Olivia and Henry sat in a corner with cups of tea, just as they used to share lunches in the staff room. You know, Henry said softly, watching a housekeeper help an elderly guest. This hotel looks more alive now than it has in years. It wasn't me alone, Olivia said. It began with you, he replied. Olivia smiled, letting the truth settle inside her. Her journey had been humiliating, painful, unfair, and yet it had led her here, to a job she loved, a workplace transformed, a sense of worth she no longer questioned. Sometimes kindness didn't just survive injustice, it outgrew it. She looked around at the lobby she once scrubbed on her knees and felt something powerful and steady rise inside her. Hope. Before I end this story, I want to ask you something. Do you feel that kindness, even when it seems powerless, can still change the places and people around us? Yes or no? If this story touched you, please leave a comment below and then let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a new story. Tell me which country you're watching from and share this video so more people can hear Olivia's journey.